We are live. Welcome to the Avatar Slang Podcast, your go to destination for deep dives in the realms of all fiction and all things nerdy. We are joined by, y'all know, my main man, my podcast partner, Quill Will.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? I'm so glad to be here, accompanying my guy, Avatar Slang. You can't say the slang without Aang because he brings all the elements together. There we go. I had to hijack
There we
that.
go. There we go. Maybe I should start saying that or incorporate it somehow. But then I feel like I'm stealing.
No, it's yours. It's yours. It is
Okay.
for you.
Okay. So how you been?
I've been, life is life. But we making it work, making it happen.
Ignore me while I fix my camera. I had the trash camera in.
We got a webcam. It was this
Yeah.
2006. We
Well,
still
it's a 4K John.
see. I didn't even know they make
Think a
webcams
little bit.
anymore. I would assume they would. To be honest, that's not. The quality is great. I just like literally seeing the quality just change, like
Yeah,
just like
because
that.
the ones that come with MacBooks, they don't put no energy into the default ones.
Hmm. Maybe I'll get me a 4K webcam. We'll put that in. We'll list that under things that we didn't know they still made.
There you go. And it'll probably be cheap on Black Friday.
Yeah, just like SanDisk memory cards.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, you're not lying. You're not
Uh-huh.
lying.
For techies like us, though that's actually still valuable. I actually like to have physical storage, but
Well, you said physical storage?
yeah. I got
How
about
big your
three or
storage
four
like that? Go ahead.
external. Oh no, yeah, I keep my hard drives. I got my memory cards, my flash. Listen, I'm all with the cloud wave, but I gotta have my physical storage too. That's just
I
me.
think, yeah, it's at this point, why not have both? Because when you got the cloud, you gotta pay monthly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And there's some good deals out there, but you're just gonna get more data and it's gonna get more expensive.
that's all it
Ooh,
is.
did you know you can get your own cloud storage at home?
That I did not know.
So it's from I think SanDisk has it. So
Hmm.
it just works like you leave it in your near your router or whatever, and you'll have a file on your computer and you just save it there and it'll always back up there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's something I'll have to look into.
That's another Black Friday thing because it goes down like 40 to 50% around Black Friday, I think.
See, people are learning. They should be paying you for these plugs. Get on it,
Maybe
Sandus.
maybe I need to reach out to them.
Listen, pay you, pay you, pay the man. As Cuban Gooding Jr. said, and Jerry Maguire, show me the money.
Isn't that like one of his only three good movies?
Hey, listen. Yeah,
Oh no, I'm lying. He got Boys in the Hood,
yeah,
so that's like four.
yeah.
All right.
Rat race.
While we're being random, no, my bad. I cut you off. What were you about to say?
No, I'm saying, well, rat race.
I don't remember nothing about Rat Race. I didn't know he was in that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Now you
remember that
got
movie
now you
that well.
got now you got to go back and watch Mr. Bean be Mr. Bean in that movie.
That came out like 20 years ago now, right?
Yeah, I saw that in the movies. Hilarious enough. It's a remake.
Oh yeah, it's a remake of a movie that came out in '63. All right, I'll check it
Hmm.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so while we're being random, we're going into some Marvel stuff, but I need help with my weak points. You know,
Okay.
people assume I'm not sure how well you knew this or not, but you know, people who aren't into like the stuff we're into. Example, Mike. He they assume I'm like this anime guru, and it's like, no, I just grew up on Toonami. Which it matters, but it's not the same thing as knowing recent anime. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like I know Yu Yu Hakusho, I know Dragon Ball, I know Naruto, basically the Jump comic stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I know Inuyasha, but that's 20 years ago now.
Yep.
So so it's like
We're
I like anime, but I'm not. It wasn't curated to me anymore once Tsunami went off the air, and I don't think Adult Swim did much new anime at a certain point. Correct?
right. No, you're right.
I think
You're
they went
right. Just
back to that.
they went back to like older stuff and then
Mhm.
some mixed in some of the newer stuff, but it wasn't nearly as prevalent in its heyday because we all know Cartoon Network is going. So,
Well, I think they brought it back now, but I think cable's
mhm.
suffering anyway.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Have you just while we're talking about Adult Swim, did you check out the Superman show yet?
I have not.
You will like it. There's a lot of Sailor Moon and DBZ references, not references, but like it pays homage. There's inspiration in it.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll
You
check that
should.
out.
It's really, really good. Why is my computer so bright? But yeah, so for someone like me, you know what I'm into, or it's not even about what I'm into, but what would you suggest for? Because I'm mostly Marvel and DC and American stuff. What anime would you suggest for me?
Well, it depends on like like you said, what you're into. I know you
Mhm,
like tech, so any of the
mhm.
mecha stuff,
Okay,
like so any of the mecha stuff, like any of the Gundams coming out. So, for
I
example,
do like Gundam.
I don't know if you know,
Hmm.
but funny enough, probably one of the trashier Gundams is getting a light novel this year. Um, G Gundam, which actually is really popular, is getting a light novel as a sequel
Wait,
to.
so wasn't G Gundam more popular here than it was
Yeah.
over in Japan? Because they're like
Hmm.
Gundam purists since they grew up with it, and it was like newer
Right,
to us. Yeah.
and this was more in line with the shonen, the tournament
Mhm.
arcs that you see in a lot of the popular shonen anime. And
Yeah.
it was another Toonami. It was a Toonami special that's where it was played. And you got to think a lot of the shonen stuff over there. At the time, Dragon Ball obviously has tournaments. Yu Yu Hakusho has the tournaments. G
Hmm.
Gundam had the tournament arc. You'll remember another mecha anime, Zoids.
I love
Zero
Zoid.
Century, yeah, Zero Century had a tournament arc. And a lot of them had that was one of that kind of captured like the American attention, that competitive nature, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Do you think that stems from like because a lot of shows, even the non-Toonami shows, did that. Like Pokemon did that when it got to its Pokemon League arcs and the gym battles.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
If
as
you
much, but
right, not as hard, yeah, not as hardcore, but Pokemon definitely has it's gotten away from that, which is
mhm.
interesting, like with the newer anime with Horizons.
Okay.
Um, but even with the ending of like, with Ash winning the whole big tournament and being like
Mhm.
basically the champion of champions, that's
Yeah.
still a big hardcore tournament arc where he basically faced a lot of the big bads
Yeah.
from a lot of the other parts of the series.
Okay.
So but when I say big bad, it's not like bad guys typically, but like the Leons, the Cynthias, and those
Got you.
types. He faced a lot of those overpowered trainers from way back when.
Okay.
Um, but no, you see that.
Were they champions in
Pokemon
previous
was,
games?
yeah,
Okay.
hmm
Got it.
yeah. So major players from different parts of the series.
Okay.
Like Iris, Cynthia, Leon was the from this current version. But yeah, a lot of those guys and gals, they basically brought them back for like, I guess the grand finale, so to speak.
Okay. I get that.
But kind of getting back to your point, like I said, for you personally, I know you like like mecha, like tech, so you'll like mecha stuff.
Okay.
So shonen, I don't know for our viewers, some may not, some may know, some may not. Shonen is more geared towards our male demographic,
Mhm.
and it's typically like a younger male protagonist as the
Like My Hero.
the yeah, yeah, that's more along the lines of that shonen. exactly. So like the popular shonen are like Dragon Ball, like with Goku being the main antagonist.
Hmm.
You know, One Piece with Luffy and Naruto, obviously Naruto.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm surprised, like, even though like Avatar isn't necessarily anime, it's more of an animated series. I feel like would you characterize Avatar as kind of shonen with following Aang as like, that character? It still fits into that trope. So,
it
as
fits
some
in
of
those
those other
tropes.
ones.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not physically an anime, so we can't call it shonen. But
Yeah, but
that's
it derives from
that's
that.
100%. No, 100%.
Then it has the
So
crew. Everyone has their own like role, like kind of like
exactly.
One Piece.
Yeah, I think you're a shonen guy, a shonen and mech, just like me. I'm a shonen
Okay.
and mech guy.
Okay.
Those are my things.
So
I
go back
know.
about Gundam Wing,
Yeah, yeah,
or is
yeah.
there one you would I should check out first?
No, the Gundam Wing is great. The new
Okay.
Gundam that's been out on Crunchyroll, that's been pretty good as
What's
well.
that called? Do you remember?
I forget exactly the
It's the
title.
most recent one.
Yeah, but it is the most recent one.
I'm about to pull it up
You'll
now.
probably enjoy that. Um, Definitely a little bit heavier than some of like than what you might be used to. Obviously, because it's Crunchyroll. So
It's
um,
not. Well, the Gundam series get deep because they're really like war series.
yeah, most of them, and even G Gundam, which is the lighter of them all
Mhm.
of the originals, is still based in war.
Okay,
So
I
yeah,
didn't
that
realize that back then.
yeah, it's still based in war. Basically, they're fighting in that tournament to keep the space colonies from warring it out in space.
So
So
it's
they bet
like Hunger Games in a way, or
yeah, so
Hunger
yeah,
Games got that from them.
kind of like so they're battling it out on Earth,
Mhm.
and whoever on Earth, which they've abandoned Earth because they've used up all the resources and it's not the same and it's kind of trash. They've abandoned Earth to go to the space colonies, so they just wore it out on
So it's
they wore it
dystopian
out on
too.
Earth. Hmm?
So this is a
Yeah,
dystopian.
kind of, yeah, kind of, yeah. But I mean, the Earth isn't like decrepit and like dead, but it's like dying. Like you can definitely
Got
tell
it.
it doesn't have like the same qualities of a thriving planet. But the people on Earth are seen as like poor or more destitute. They're definitely frowned upon. But you kind of see when you go through that series, you definitely kind of see Domo Kashu, who's the main character, and how he
Yeah.
protects Earth and stuff like that.
The
It's
what's the
pretty
glowing fist?
Yeah, this hand of
Burning
mine
finger?
is burning red. Yeah, the
Yeah.
shining finger and the burning finger.
Shining
And
finger.
funny enough,
Okay.
and so it's two of them. Shining finger is for the shining Gundam.
Hmm.
Burning finger is for the burning Gundam. But burning Gundam and in Japan is actually God Gundam. So I call it God Gundam because it sounds way cooler.
And
But they didn't want to be sacrilegious, so in America they
yeah,
changed that
yep,
up. The
that makes
same
sense.
thing with the big bad in that series is the Dark Gundam, but it's really the Devil Gundam. Again, they took it out.
Oh,
They whitewashed it.
basically, they were just being how they used to be in 2003.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think that
yeah.
would pass now. They wouldn't have said nothing now.
Mhm, mhm. So
Okay.
definitely, your mechs, yeah, and your shonen, and I think like, and then there's like a new shonen that's out that I'm enjoying. Um, it's getting ready to go into season 2. Solo leveling.
Oh,
Yeah,
that popped up on Hulu, I think, or was it Netflix?
solo leveling is phenomenal.
Is it like
Phenomenal.
so? How different is it from Sword Art Online?
So I haven't done much with Sword Art Online, so
Okay.
I don't really know much about it. But
Okay.
I know I kind of give you the premise of solo leveling. A guy, they go into these dungeons and raid them and try to get materials out for money and also clear the dungeons, from these creatures so they don't, break out into the world, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah.
Wait,
There's one,
isn't this the one
mhm,
when he's the only one who can power up or level up or something?
yes, yes.
Oh, that's my
He's the
list.
only one that can go up,
Yeah.
on different ranks. And he's a lower rank, and you're not supposed to be able to do that. But he had what's called a second awakening, but his is even crazier because he basically just goes off the scale. And like
Oh.
if you read, you know, in the text, so to speak, he's really like he becomes or way overpowered. He becomes one of the more overpowered anime characters that there is. That and then there's another anime that I enjoy, the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Um, so they're fighting over the role of who was the actual devil, but he's not
Oh,
actually like a bad guy, which is interesting. But
okay.
the main character is Honors, and it's absurd how overpowered. It's laughable how overpowered he
Mhm.
is. Like it's laughable, but um, stuff like that. Stuff
Okay.
like that. I think you'll find cool. Definitely check that out. Um, Fire Force, which is another shonen that should be
Mhm.
coming back next year, I believe.
Okay.
Um, Another shonen, which is pretty cool. A lot of them, this one is like definitely has like some religious undertones. It's
Hmm.
interesting. It's interesting
Okay.
as they fight the extinguishing these flame souls. Crazy.
They're extinguishing what? It broke up for a
Like
second.
these souls that basically, they're flame, they become fire, so they gotta basically put them out.
Ah.
Yeah, but
I, I gotta
it
say,
gets
these
intense.
Japanese people always make a new concept that I never thought would exist. And
It gets intense. Your friend is still scarred over one scene in Fire Force when we was just getting comfortable with somebody. I won't give it away. We was
okay.
just getting comfortable. We just was
Oh,
liking them,
for
and
instance,
then
Game of Thrones type stuff.
yeah, just like that,
Okay.
just.
Okay. Okay. So I got another question, anime related.
hmm
So we grew up in the 90s and 2000s. Pokemon was a big thing.
Yes.
And then, people like us, we stuck with those types of things. Even with Pokemon specifically, we stuck with that kind of fantasy and fiction. Whereas other people
hmm
just kind of got off of it after fourth grade.
hmm
I got off of it, and not even totally off of it. I just didn't have the money for like consoles and stuff and video games once
hmm
I got to a certain point. So I think around Black and White is when I started to be confused.
Okay.
But with Pokemon Go and like me working at elementary school and they talk about Greninja and all that, they
hmm
it's just like it got me interested again. And also, have you ever heard of Poke Rogue?
Yes. hmm
So I've been playing that and it's pretty decent for a free game.
hmm
And now I know these characters who are supposed to be a big deal that I missed. So I guess I'm asking which Pokemon games are worth going back to play since like I literally missed Black and White 2 and up. I haven't played anything since
Yeah, you
Platinum.
want to go back and do those. Definitely go back and do Black and White.
Okay.
Uh, though those are great. I did Black and White. I mean, Diamond and Pearl are also great too. I mean, to be honest, I enjoy
Diamond
all
Pro
the
came
Pokemon.
before, right?
Yeah, I enjoy
I
all
did
the
that one.
Pokemon
I did
games.
that. I did Diamond Pro
Um,
and Platinum.
um, I think of Pokemon, was it X and Y?
Yeah, I don't even know like who's even on the cover of X and Y. So I don't know what that is.
It's Yveltal, if I'm saying it right,
Oh,
and
I know you're talking
Xerneas.
about the
Yeah, Yveltal is
the
like the
flying dart
bird.
thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Xerneas is like the deer looking thing with the big long
Okay, I remember. Yeah, I
branch like
totally missed
antlers.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of the stuff I missed. I got out of it for a long
Mhm.
time. Like I missed like Mega Evolution and stuff like that, which was
Oh,
a
did
pretty
you?
cool mechanic. Yeah, I didn't get back into Pokemon again
Hmm.
full time. Probably, you know what? At the start of the last series, Pokemon Journeys, I got back
Oh,
in
really?
full time for the anime. For the
Okay.
game, I did not get back in full time
Okay.
until just this recent release, Scarlet and Violet. I actually
Okay.
bought a Switch to play Scarlet and Violet. But
Okay.
I was hip. I knew what was going on, like with Sword and Shield, and I knew what was going on with um, Arceus, and you know they're coming
Okay.
out with another um, Arceus Zeta A spring of next year, which
Okay.
should come out. That should come out with the Switch 2. I think the Switch 2 is dropping sometime early next year. I think it's going
I
to be
guess the Switch is an old
a
system
early
now, right?
release. Yeah, so yeah, it's what 10 years old.
Close.
Yeah, so you'll be seeing that. But what really got me back into it was the card game and just
Ah.
collecting.
Hmm.
And I started that during COVID,
Oh, really?
right
That
before
recently?
right before COVID. I got back into collecting cards. For anybody thinking about collecting cards, it's a trap. Don't do it. It is a money. It's a money. It's a pit. You're better off burning your money. Don't get like me. I've gotten some of my very good friends into spending Pokemon. I can tell you, I have one friend who was well off, who I know for a fact has dropped at least 30, 40 bands on Pokemon
Jeez.
cards. But when I mean 30, 40 bands, he's buying he's living. If I had the money, I would have done it. He's
Hmm.
living out exactly what I told him to do, and then he did his own research and figured it out. I told him stop buying individual packs, old packs. They weigh that now. I don't know if you saw. Now they got these little mini CT machines like they do with the CAT scans and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's getting so deep. There's a new service coming out that is going to allow people to send in packs, and they will actually look inside of the pack with the machine and see what cards are in there. So now people can, and they're not only that, they're going to be doing booster boxes. You could do that with Pokemon, sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, whatever. Now
Hmm.
they're going to be able to see what cards are in the packs without opening.
Oh. Oh.
The scamming is going to be crazy.
This is an adventure for
It's,
everything.
it's, it's gotten intense.
What?
It's gotten intense. It's gotten bad to be a collector these days. It's not. It's garbage, but at the same time, if you know what you're doing and you enjoy the hobby, you do
Hmm.
great. Like my friend I was talking about, he went out and
We lost you for a
he
second.
bought the,
He went out and
you
did
know,
what?
the oh, no, I said my friend, he bought
Mhm.
the first edition Shadowless base set Charizard. He bought the same version with the Blastoise and the Venusaur. He went out and bought a lot of those classic cards, and then
Mhm.
he collected the new stuff too. Now he's built up quite a big collection. He spent crazy money, but he's got a insanely valuable collection, like some really cool shit.
So,
Um,
question:
it's a spend. It's a spend. Yeah.
Do you plan on holding or flipping, or depends?
Oh, I'm forever will hold.
Okay.
So now some cards I flip,
Hmm.
some cards I do flip to buy other stuff.
Hmm.
Like if I don't have any sentimental value to the card, I'll sell it.
Hmm.
And sometimes, listen, they're good if you need a quick buck, man. I'll tell you. If you rent, there's nothing like going to a card store and getting and feeling like you got feeling like you got screwed over. I go sell $100 card. I might get like $70 for it, but listen,
Oh,
it's okay. It's like GameStop. It's not. You don't feel like you got you got raw dogged.
yeah.
But
Well,
like you do
GameStop
it again.
did
But
do.
GameStop got into it though. They got into it though. They buy graded cards now. They buy cards,
Really?
singles. Yes.
Oh,
They got into it. They're one of their last ditch efforts to stay in the game.
oh.
So
You know what?
so
They don't got a choice.
they don't have a choice.
Okay.
They don't have a choice. But I got into, yeah, it was a trading card game. It's one particular card um that I got into that I pulled a chase card from one set that I when I first started collecting again, and it's a Charizard card. And I just never stopped from there. I caught the itch, and I just kept going.
Before we
Don't
move
get
on to the
into it.
Marvel stuff,
Don't get into the trading
don't get
cards.
into it.
No, no, don't get into it.
Okay.
Now, what's a little safer is if you do like the online. Like
Hmm.
if you want to play like the actual trading card game,
Yeah.
just get the code cards, and basically the code card come with every pack, and it's basically a free pack for the trading card game online. And it's not the same pack that you get in the like you don't get the same exact cards from that pack
Hmm.
in the game, but what you do get is a pack from that set. So let's say, for example, the current set is Twilight Masquerade.
Okay.
That code card, if I scan that code card, I'm gonna get a Twilight Masquerade pack on the trading
Mhm.
card game.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So
And
the
mhm.
takeaway is don't get into it or else you're gonna be stuck. It's a
Oh, you're gonna spend money. Oh, it's a
it's a
trap because you
quicksand.
pull one good card. You get
Hmm.
yeah, you get one. You pull one good card, like one great 60 $70 card. You're like, man, this is the life.
Ah, that sounds like an itch you gotta keep scratching.
Yeah, then you be like me and get skunked and an entire. I get a box. I might get
Hmm.
like two decent pulls, and
Hmm.
I'm just trash. And then sometimes I just go out and do something on a whim, and then pull the best card in the set.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna pivot a little bit, but it's related.
Mhm.
When did you like as far as like the nerd content, like the action cartoons and all that? Did you fall off of it for a while and stop? Like, did you stop and come back, or did you always watch a little bit of something?
I'd say I was more into like the anime,
Yeah, yeah,
but
even that stuff.
not. But I'd say I'm not super hardcore.
Hmm.
I wouldn't even, but I wouldn't say I'm casual. I'm like somewhere in
Okay.
between. Like I like what I
Okay.
like. I'm really into the older stuff that we grew up with, but
Hmm.
there is like some of the newer stuff and some of the newer characters I connect with, like the Asta and Black Clover,
Okay. Oh,
and
you
like
like Black
I was,
Clover?
yeah. Oh, I've seen
Okay.
every episode. Seen every episode. I've read every chapter in the manga.
I
I,
saw some of it. It seemed
I'm
interesting when
invested.
I put on Tsunami.
I'm invested.
Okay.
100%. Stuff like so I connect with some of the newer stuff. I fell off. So like the Naruto
Hmm.
and One Piece generation and that stuff, that era, I was not heavy into that
That's
era. I
when we
was
were in
still
Bonder,
watching the old
basically.
stuff. Yeah, I
It
was still
started when we were in
watching the
Bonder.
old stuff. Yeah, and
Okay.
like stuff like Bleach, like that wasn't really my scene. I was still in Dragon Ball, Yu Yu
Okay.
Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin. I was
Ah,
in Gundam. I was in that scene. As far as like
interesting.
the action cartoons, like you talk about Marvel and DC and stuff, especially
Hmm.
like DC, we grew up with what Batman the animated series. We
Yeah.
grew up with Superman, and then flipping to Marvel, X Men, um, Spider Man. Like we grew up with that stuff. Like that stuff remained relevant to me. Um, but and I'd say I didn't get back into it. I'd say
Hmm.
my high school years and the college years, I fell out. And then really maybe what kind of bridged me back into it, the advent of Disney Plus. Because then I got back one of the first things I watched, especially when it got like Marvel was like X-Men. I
Hmm.
watched Gargoyles. Gargoyles got back into that.
That's
Went
what we
back,
got in common.
yeah, I went back and watched Gargoyles, and that kind of got me back into that sling of watching animated stuff again. And I
Hmm.
keep up with some of like the DC animated movies, like some of the Batman movies. Like I watched Killing Joke and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
DC is still dead to me, by the way, but I'm gonna give them a
You don't
chance
think they're
with
gonna
this
come back, or are
reboot.
you saying they're dead for now?
Oh, I'm just disappointed. It's too much hurt. It's too much hurt.
Ah, fair.
Um,
The new Superman's from
but
Philly.
water's
Don't
wet.
matter. For
Water is wet. Who cares?
I
Um,
mean, it's James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy. It could be good,
could be.
but you have to wait. You have to see it first. You have to see to
Marvel's
believe it.
like Marvel's like for their last 69.
You think so?
Not Marvel.
What?
DC. DC.
Oh,
I'm sorry. DC is like for their last 69.
you didn't care for Wonder Woman?
No, no. The first Wonder Woman was fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
Okay.
That was one of the. Now I thought that was one of the better of the movies. I
Okay.
didn't really care for any of the Superman movies. I'm be quite honest.
That's
I
fair.
fall asleep. I fall asleep on all of them.
That's
I didn't
fair.
care.
I like Man of
I
Steel,
prefer.
but it's not amazing.
Yeah, I prefer the Christopher Nolan Batman over
Affleck.
whatever they were. Yeah, over
Okay.
Affleck. Basically, Christian Bale was he was the
You
smug
didn't get the
asshole Bruce Wayne I liked.
you didn't give the new Batman any time?
Well, what was it? Bobby Pattinson?
Yeah.
No.
You will like it. You actually will like it. It's kind of like it's it's a mix of a crime drama the way Dark Knight was, but they're
Hmm.
really mixing. Like he's on some MMA stuff in that one. You will probably like that one. So when you have time, give it a chance.
I'll check
And it
that out.
doesn't connect to the DC universe that let us down either.
Okay.
So you'll like it just
Okay.
off of that. Like
Okay.
it actually scored very well with the critics and the audience. Like people give it like an A. Like if you're doing letter grading, a lot of people give it like an A. The worst I've seen was like a B plus.
I'll check that out. We'll see.
Oh, you should.
We'll
But
see.
while we on the topic of comic book movies, how did you feel about Doctor Doom?
Oh, RDJ. My mind was blown, and my mind was blown in a way where I just had no idea what to
Mhm.
expect because there's so many possibilities. I know a lot of the internet just went bananas thinking it was terrible. They
Oh, is that what you saw? Because I've seen it both ways.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that it's terrible.
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people say they don't get it. I mean, there is some basis
I
of
think
it
they
in the
they get it.
comic. Yeah, there's some basis of it in the comic. Obscure, but there's some basics of Tony Stark being Doctor Doom. That's
Mhm.
fine. There's a couple different ways Marvel can play it. Marvel can play it like it's a brand new character. Tony had nothing to do with it. That'd be kind of weird, but um, I think they make it a variant, and then with the multiverse, it's just like anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. So that's why I'm going into it with an open mind because I
Mhm.
just know the possibilities are endless. They can do any and everything and hide behind the multiverse. Now, is it lazy writing or is it lazy casting?
It's a
Or
lazy. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
it could be. It could be, but I think a lot of people are like, well, why did they do this? Well, I mean, put it like this: Doom doesn't really remove his mask, right? So we're not going
Not
to
much.
really, not much. So like, we're not going to really get a lot of Tony of RDJ facial, scenes. Pause. But
God,
sorry, I'm like
you're
Mike.
good.
uh, you're not gonna see like a lot of his face. I don't think, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play that. I'm just ready for the scene where he and Peter Parker end up mixing, and I need to see this.
Mhm.
I need to see how ruthless Doctor Doom is going to be, and how stuck Peter is going to be trying to fight this variant of Doctor Doom. Now we know it's definitely not 616. We know it's not 616
Yeah,
Doom. Um, but it's a very shit. It could be 616 Doom, and if
that's what people
we
are
don't know.
afraid of. Their whole thing. He's just the first Doom we see, but not the last,
Hmm.
like not the main Doom.
Right, right. He's definitely going to be a variant. Um,
But with Marvel, you never
yeah,
know. He could be the only Doom we get.
he could be the only Doom we get. You're exactly right. Or he could be the only variant that they focus on.
Hmm.
So,
And we
um,
know they
pe-
did that to replace Kang.
yeah, because Jonathan Major screwed that up. Which
Hmm.
I think he was brilliant as Kang. I don't think you could have replaced him as Kang. To be
No,
quite
he was
honest,
really good.
I thought I thought he was great in that role.
Hmm.
You don't replace that or have a hard time replacing it. Um,
I agree.
I still think the one character I still do think they should have recasted uh T'Challa.
You really
I
think
still think
so?
they should. Yeah, I think they
I
should
don't
have
think they could have pulled
recasted
that
him.
off. Oh, I actually just read the MCU book. They talk about why they couldn't do it. You don't, we probably won't agree, but I got where they're coming from.
What did they say?
It was just too much. Like they just not enough time passed. They felt like they thought the new actor was going to be in a no win situation.
Right, like he could be brilliant, but nobody's gonna care because it's not Chadwick,
Yeah,
or he could really suck, and then they're really gonna pile on him because
yeah,
he's
and
not
they would have been
Chadwick.
like, you should just moved on like y'all wanted to.
Right, right,
So,
and then just think I know the actors are professional,
mhm,
but just think of the human aspect of them working with another person and how it reminds them of Chadwick. You
mhm.
know, the human aspect probably would be difficult as well.
And those movies now, from what I'm realizing, is a lot of it is improvised since there's so many
Hmm.
moving pieces. Like when actors drop out or when someone gets injured, it affects every movie that they
Right,
are thinking of. So
right,
it's like now you gotta catch up to all this lore, and it's like where you pulling from. And not to say it's not possible, they just didn't feel like doing it.
right. It's like a lot of that is not choreographed. It is improvised acting, like
Hmm.
one of your favorite activities, wrestling.
You're clever. You know what?
Wrestling.
We're gonna talk about that at the end. I want to talk about that for like a couple
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think it's people are saying is Marvel doomed with bringing RDJ into being doomed. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Marvel is so far in at this point. They're almost like it's almost like Eminem or Lil Wayne. They're so far in and they're so popular now. People
Hmm.
are going to digest the content regardless of the quality at this point. It's just now they could crap all over it, but they're still going to go out. They're still going to turn out for the big movies. Maybe not the B movies like the Marvels, like the
Hmm.
girls, which I thought was a shame. I actually enjoyed that movie.
I thought it was good.
Um, like the Eternals. People didn't like the Eternals for some reason. The Shang
Then you connect the
Chi's.
characters. I think
That's exactly what it is. I don't. I think with that, um,
Shang-Chi
with
made
some
money
of
though.
those, Shang-Chi did make money. Shang-Chi was excellent, I thought,
Hmm.
but it's a
It's
B
not a
movie
billion dollars
compared to
though, but it made money.
right, right. It's a B movie or a C movie compared to
Avengers.
what they've done with Avengers and Captain America, Spider-Man, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And listen, that's fine. Um, but I think, like I said, I think they're too big and too far gone to fail at this point. It's not like with DC who's failing because they try to do too much too soon. And instead of really long playing it like Marvel is long played, it's over what 20 some odd over what 50. How long have I been out of
How many movies
15,
or how many years?
15, almost 20 years. They've
Yeah,
been long
yeah.
playing this.
Hmm.
So people like us, our demographic, we grew up with the MCU. We grew
Yeah.
up pre MCU. Basically, our childhood was Blade, and quick history lesson for a lot of you all who don't know, Blade is a Marvel property, and Blade is unofficially the first big Marvel movie hit. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know Marvel sold off its properties, how they were going broke, so they sold off like Spider-Man to what, Sony.
Yes.
Sony got Spider-Man. Fox got a lot of the mutants,
Yes.
essentially.
And
So that's why
Fantastic
Fox
Four.
had Deadpool and Yup and Fantastic Four. That's why Fox had those properties, and it took so long to integrate them back until Marvel
Mm-hmm.
was able to eventually get them all back. I don't think they got. I think they have an agreement with Sony. They didn't buy Spider-Man back
Yeah,
from
it's like
Sony,
an
did they?
agreement to share them.
But they do have an agreement there.
Mm-hmm.
So um, Blade was kind of the press. It was the impetus of all of that, and then you get what, the Hulk
Mm-hmm.
movies, and then they weren't MCU, but they were there, and then you
Yeah.
get into Iron Man, and Iron Man really kicked off. Iron Man and Captain America really kicked off MCU, and then
Yes.
we go from there.
Did
Um,
you know Iron Man was technically an independent movie?
that I did not know.
So basically, Iron Man is like you're a film guy. You're going to whoever could give you money to finance your movie. So they had to go to all these different banks to get that movie financed. And so Paramount decided to help them. Paramount and this banking company called Merrill.
Did I lose you? Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What's the last thing you heard?
The banking. Oh,
Merrill
wait,
Lynch.
yeah, now you went out volume. There you go. Go ahead.
I'm back. Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
Merrill Lynch told them they'll give them money for 4 movies.
Okay.
So basically they're technically an independent movie since Marvel is still fighting the bankruptcy in 2006 when they were looking for this money.
Right.
So it's
Oh,
just
that's
interesting when
crazy.
you go from independent to Disney.
Right. And now they're like rolling in the dough,
Yeah.
uh, printing money because now they own every major property you want. I mean, you got Star Wars, you got
Hmm.
Disney, Star Wars, you got Marvel.
Yep. They had to go
What
out and buy
more do you want?
Pixar. Oh,
Hmm.
also another misconception: Disney doesn't have creative control of Marvel Studios. Legally, they're
Correct.
allowed to, and I read this in the book. But part of the deal was Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, told the Marvel CEO, "Look, I let Pixar do what they're doing before we came in because we want them to be as good as they were. We don't want to mess it up. We're going to
Hmm.
do the same for y'all." So when people are like, "Oh, this is Disney-fied," Disney doesn't really do anything to stop them, which is
Right.
why Deadpool was able to be rated R.
Right. And then that was pretty cool because you hadn't seen a rated R property from Marvel with
Disney.
its Disney
Oh yeah,
ventures.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're correct.
Um, so Deadpool, if they can ever get Blade off the ground for whenever that's supposed to happen, if it keeps getting delayed, they keep going through like what directors, they keep leaving,
Directors,
getting
yeah,
fired. Yep.
scripts,
So it's like um, it's going to set the impetus for stuff like that. It's precedent, I should say, for movies like Blade whenever that comes out,
hmm
or if you wanted to do a hard a hard R Punisher or a
yeah.
hard R Daredevil. That's when that's I think Daredevil should be a hard R movie.
You think so?
That's just yeah. I think Daredevil should be a
Well,
hard R.
he don't go extreme though, but the people around him do.
That's what I mean. I want to
Okay,
see that darker
okay,
side of Daredevil. Like we know Punisher should be hard R.
yeah, that's the best medium for him.
Mm. Punisher can't be PG-13. It's just not. Frank Castle is not a PG-13
No,
type
he's
of
not.
character.
So is John Wick rated R?
Yes, I thought.
Okay, so yeah, it has to be, I guess, right? So does it have to be more gruesome than John Wick? John Wick's not gruesome, but it's clearly rated R. Does it have to
Right.
be
No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to be Kill Bill.
okay? So it just has to be what Deadpool was.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, Deadpool isn't that bad. We just never seen Wolverine stab someone repeatedly.
Oh yeah, which is crazy to think because he has the claws for a reason to stab
Yeah,
people repeatedly.
but his claws were pretty much censored.
Yeah, not in this movie, which was
But
cool.
isn't that the same thing with Leonardo's swords? He can't ever really use them.
Yeah,
So I guess that's what it is. Like he just
yeah,
blocks other people's swords and kicks them.
yeah. You're right, huh? Yeah, it's like the same with like Power Rangers. You don't see Power Rangers use their weapons
No,
to
they
like
do.
kill
You just
people,
spark.
not to kill people. Yeah, to
Oh
spark.
no, for
You don't see
sure.
them to kill. You don't see them to
Yeah,
kill people,
that's true.
but they're not carrying a blicky on them just to
Yeah,
spark,
yeah.
just to.
Well, Power
They
Rangers,
trying to kill putties.
they're like live action cartoons. Once
Yeah,
they
they're
turn
trying to.
into
They're trying to immobilize them, or are you trying to off this putty? I'm trying to off this putty, not immobilize them.
yeah.
That's
Well,
another
Power Rangers
story.
is his own world. That's his own subgenre in Japan.
When I get my own house, I want to buy some of the Megazords.
So you're about to find another trap.
That is a trap. And there's different qualities. Like I was researching this. There's like
He's
some like
already
hundred some. There's some already $100 some odd grades. There's like I saw some like $400 and $500 grades. I'm like, yeah.
I
This is
didn't know
not
that.
good.
No, I kind
This
of
is
knew that because I have a cousin who he actually watches Super Sentai for the audience. That's
hmm
the Japanese
Japanese.
version of Power Rangers. To keep it simple, it's the original version. To be honest,
Yeah. For
that's
people who
what.
don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So every season of Power Rangers, when they switch the costumes every year, is adapted from Super Sentai. He watches them on DVD.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
yeah, and he collects the Zords. I think I gotta check in with him to see if what he's doing with that. But
I've
yeah, that's
I've
the thing.
had so many. I've had the Megazords. I've had Megazords before. Many of them throughout my childhood, and I don't have any of them now, which is sad.
They're
It's
probably
very
good
sad.
with.
You probably listen. Goodwill. There's people who go to Goodwill just for stuff like that, and
Yeah,
our idiot selves throw stuff away and don't keep it. The only stuff I kept, and surprisingly, jumping back to Pokemon, I kept a lot of my Pokemon cards in pretty good shape. I did not beat my cards and shit,
what you covered on
which was
binders?
nice. Yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
That was smart.
So a lot of my cards, they're played, but they're not like destroyed
Okay.
either. Like they're in pretty good shape.
Hmm.
Corners aren't bent to hell, not creased up. Like I really did keep a good.
Okay. So did you have
Um,
cards you played with and cards you kept, or
no, I play with all my cards. Listen, that's why I can't keep sealed product now. Like sealed product, there's a sealed product game and the collecting cards, period. And then
Mhm.
there's opening. I cannot keep sealed product for shit. I have some sealed product, but I'm an opener. I gotta see what's in it.
Oh, you're
I
one of
gotta
those.
I gotta see. I gotta see what's in it. I gotta see.
Okay.
Now I'd be the one sending my stuff to the CT scan to to see what's in it, so I know if I want to open it or not.
Ah,
That'd be me. That'd be
okay.
me.
So to bring it back to the future of Marvel,
hmm hmm
what what Marvel project? I say project because you could say show or movie. Are you looking forward the most? Looking forward to the
Uh,
most. Know that.
I'm very curious to see how they transition into Sam Wilson for Captain America.
That's
Um,
what I'm waiting for.
I think Anthony Mackie's really grown into that character. I really
Mhm.
like what he's done with it. Especially, I really enjoyed the Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people didn't like that second round of Marvel TV shows, and
Mhm.
I personally liked it.
Mhm.
Um, I'm very curious to see what they do with Thor moving forward.
Mhm.
I want to see how Thor's power scales as he gets older because we
Mhm.
know Thor in the comic is just unhinged powerful. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, like he like. he beat Thanos a couple times. I don't remember what issues, but I know he's just that guy.
Right. I want to see. I know we've seen a funnier side of Hulk.
Mm.
I want to see that world breaker Hulk.
You think we're ever gonna get that?
You couldn't. I mean, they have. You couldn't. It's just like they have to make an excuse not to
There
have
was
a
an excuse.
character like maybe. Yeah, they have an excuse to not have a character like Adam Warlock on the scene. You know what I mean? He's too powerful.
Mm.
You know, you gotta like. There's some things like you can't go too far. You got to keep certain versions of certain characters. I'm interested to see Deadpool with his entrance into the MCU officially. I,
Like
I'm
actually
curious
interacting
to
with
see
the other MCU characters.
correct and
Right.
how that might work.
Okay.
That's gonna be real. Is he gonna be dumbed down to comic relief? Like what's gonna happen? Because Deadpool is a pretty powerful character in his own right.
Yeah.
It's just especially because he has the power of the pen, which,
Yeah.
which is really the most powerful thing.
And he knows it.
Hmm. That's why you can't. And for all those people who say, who's winning between Deadpool and Goku and whatever, you cannot beat a gag character. A gag parody character cannot be defeated.
So is
It's
that
a
the same
reason
thing
for that.
with is that the same thing with One Punch Man?
Yes,
Mm.
it's a gag. It's a parody. They cannot be defeated unless it's a gag versus a gag, and then you just gagged out.
Okay. I think I'm most interested in it's a tie for me. If I had to just limit it, it's the new Captain America, with Sam Wilson. I want to
Mhm.
see how they do another political thriller. And
Gotcha.
Daredevil, the new Daredevil.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Like it seems like going to be that crime drama type thing. Um they're actually bringing back just about everything from the original series.
Okay.
Like they
Do
wised
you
up.
do you think they'll do like what? You think they'll do a Marvel show for Punisher to introduce Punisher again, or you think they'll put Punisher? I don't think Punisher's gonna get a standalone movie. Not probably any time in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
So the sick part is he's not colorful enough. So and Marvel's budget's too high now. They kind of can't pull that off because and the lead guy isn't a newcomer to he has a good resume.
Okay.
So I think he's just more for budget. It's better for Marvel to go straight to streaming because he's not colorful. So he can't. I'm be honest. Marvel's motto was "Let's sell toys." Punisher doesn't sell toys and merchandise that well,
Right.
at least in their
It's
minds.
a darker character. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get that same. Yeah.
Oh, side question. He while we're talking about gag characters, Goku. Who wins in a fight? Peak Goku or Peak Flash?
Like peak Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Like universe shattering Goku. They're both
I don't know who Peak
essentially
Goku. Yeah, I guess.
they're both essentially universal shattering beings.
So it just depends. I guess you're saying like just depends who lands what hit.
Yeah, because I could totally see Flash just completely outspeeding Goku, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what Goku has, and I don't know how adept you are. Goku has God Ki. I don't know if
I know
you
that's a
follow.
thing.
So Goku has tapped into God Ki.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his Super Saiyan Blue form.
Yeah, okay, I do
And
know
then
that. I finished Super, just so you know.
he has tapped. I don't know if you read all into the manga
I
manga.
didn't get too far. I only know Black Frieza
Uh,
exists somehow, but I don't really
yeah,
know.
that's a whole other thing. Black
Isn't Vegeta
Frieza is
stronger than Goku right now?
for
Subjective?
now.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
But they're setting up some interesting things because now Gohan is finally getting love with the Beast form, and
Okay.
Beast form is on par. It's probably over Super Saiyan Blue.
But what
Um,
about Ultra Instinct or Goku doesn't control that well yet?
Goku has a pretty good control over Ultra Instinct. It's
Mhm.
not. It's he hasn't reached. He does it. It's counterintuitive because Ultra Instinct is supposed to be the complete serenity and calmness, but the
Mhm.
whole impetus to Super Saiyan is rage and anger.
Mhm.
So that's why they thought it was impossible for Goku to do that, but obviously he passed his limits. Um, a perfect Ultra Instinct versus the top level of Flash.
Mhm.
I got Ultra Instinct.
Okay.
I can't go against angelic and God power. It's
So
just
I'll give you more
different.
context as to why this came up. Cyrus from the group, from the Common Sense Facebook group, we had a conversation maybe 7 years ago now, and he said Goku could be Flash, and I do like now I do acknowledge Ultra Instinct helps him, but
Hmm.
within that conversation in 2016, I didn't think Goku stood much of a chance if it's like the best. And Wally West is like not one of those characters that gets dumbed down every couple of years. He usually stays OP, whereas
Hmm.
Superman gets drawn back sometimes. So my thinking was even Ultra Instinct at that moment he wasn't controlling it that well anyway, because
Right.
this was right after Tournament of Power.
Yeah, because he couldn't. Because in the Broly movie, he couldn't go Ultra Instinct on command. Because if you remember that
Mhm.
last big transformation he had, you see it for an instant, and I missed it in the movie. I did not notice that, and so I was watching it. Yes, I watched transformation videos and stuff on my fair time, and I was watching like, oh, he went Ultra. Oh, he tried. He couldn't do it.
Got
He
it.
couldn't do it. He did not have mastery yet. So we know that Broly movie is after the Tournament of Power,
Hmm.
but before the events of Moro, which
Yeah,
is the
where the
in
manga's
the
at.
granola art. Yeah, granola art. Well, no,
Yeah.
they're past Moro
Well, they're
now.
past
They're in
that, but that's where the manga continue, I should say.
yeah, they're setting up for nigga freezing.
Why? Like does Frieza have to linger? He's like the Joker now.
So let me tell you about Frieza. So Frieza earned his. You saw Frieza earned his life back by helping in Tournament of Power.
He did.
Frieza, Frieza now, and it's crazy. It's insane to think of that Frieza was so overpowered in the Dragon Ball Z series without training. He never trained.
Yeah, he was just
That was
naturally strong.
natural talent. And
Hmm.
the only reason, the only reason why he lost in Resurrection F is because he basically gassed out. That's the only reason he didn't have full control over Golden Frieza.
Hmm.
He gassed out. That's it. That's literally it. So him training and gaining further mastery of his power, he now making that same mistake twice. You know, Frieza's smart.
Hmm.
So arrogant, and that's what gets him in trouble, but very smart. Um, and he had the chance of killing Goku and Vegeta, and he said, "No, you monkeys. I have been, I'm not here for you monkeys right now." Basically, he flexed on him and
Hmm.
bounced,
Oh,
which is crazy. Like he truly flexed on him. He had plenty of opportunity to kill him both
at the
immediately,
same time.
vaporize them at the same time. Oh, he would have vaporized because they just finished a big fight, and he would have vaporized them instantly.
Oh, I see what's happening. I got you. I got you. Okay.
So he showed like him showing up. He's like, I could get y'all right now, but I'm
Okay.
gonna make y'all think about it.
So, are you one of those? So you got Flash over Goku? Not Flash. You
I
got
got
Goku over
Goku over
Superman.
Flash. Uh, with God Key, Goku. I don't think Ultra Instinct is losing to many normal characters.
I don't. You find Superman to be normal?
Superman is definitely overpowered.
Hmm.
Uh, they call him the Man of Steel
Hmm.
until he's vaporized. Can he be vaporized? In theory, I don't know. Is he truly
It depends
impermeable?
who's doing it. Um, so the way I look at it is if you're doing like a Goku versus Superman thing, you're talking about have you ever experienced All Star Superman?
No.
Okay, so that's the version people are usually talking about because that's Superman at his peak. That's when he's like lifting up like planets or like I can't. I'm not a science guy, so I can't. I could conceptualize it, but I can't like tell you how heavy these things are. Like, but like
Right.
in that one, he
He's
gets
done that.
powerful.
Yeah,
Who?
I thought it was like the white suit Superman. Is that the white suit Superman? Is that the one you was talking about? The one in the white
It
suit?
might have been, or it might have been the gold. There's a couple versions
Yeah,
that be tripping.
that are completely overpowered. And I
Yeah,
get that. It's just I look at it like you have God level power, God level key. And I
but
know Goku
what's
doesn't.
God level? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like God level is
that's a
different in
great
every
question.
universe. Because
Yeah, that's a
Darkseid's
great
a god.
question. So put it like this: if Superman was in Goku's universe,
Mm-hmm,
Goku wins. I think.
mm-hmm,
Now, if Goku is in, the DC world,
mm-hmm.
it might be. I think it depends on where the setting is.
I
It
think
truly
maybe it
depends.
depends on a lot of things.
Because
Okay.
in Goku's world, Superman is nothing more than a powerful alien, just like he is.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
But isn't that what like that's what makes them the same in some ways? Like I talk about Dragon Ball Z was like Kryptonians are pretty similar to Saiyans.
Oh, that last part you went out.
Similar to Saiyans in that way.
Oh yeah. hmm Uh,
So it probably depends. And Cool
it,
is a
I think
knockoff
it
of
depends.
Brainiac.
It's like a Brainiac, Martian Manhunter
Yeah, I meant the
type of
second
thing.
Cooler. Yeah,
Metal cooler. Oh God. I wish that never
but yeah,
existed.
yeah. I guess there's a lot of factors, and the issue with Superman is he gets rebooted all the time because he's
hmm
been around for 100 years. Whereas Goku, there's been one Goku.
Yeah, but the power scaling over the last few years has just gone berserk. It's ridiculous. Like,
Didn't they try to bring it back down by having other people be strong and it went higher again?
yeah, I
Not
mean,
bring it
so
back
now
down, but level it better. Because
the
like
only
17
character
strong down nowhere.
17 is strong now, but now 17 doesn't matter because 17 isn't Ultra Instinct strong. 17
Oh,
is amazing, like won a tournament of
mhm.
power. Sorry, spoiler. Um, but it's like now that
I
they've
guess
progressed even further.
you right. I guess what I'm saying is I just never imagined. That's what I mean when I said it shot up. Like, but before back when Dragon Ball Z was an old show, we never thought 17 would be stronger than Majin Buu. That was never a thing we would imagine.
hmm
So
Well, after they explained it, I mean, with the Boo lore and everything like that. But no, you're right. You didn't think even 18 because 18 is like that too.
oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Oh, 18 is super powerful. She's not as strong as 17, but 18, if she trained,
Hmm.
she'd be right there. And yeah, there were other universes. Also, keep in mind there were other universes way too powerful to compete in the tournament of power. They got to pass. So
Mm,
that should tell you everything you need to know.
mm.
Just way too strong,
Okay.
way too strong. But I think Goku and Flash, I got Goku. Uh, Goku and Superman, I know they do the death battles and all of that stuff. I got Goku. Depending on the setting. Right, right.
Like they realize that Goku gets not rewritten, gets a new transformation. Superman gets a new power. He gets a new writer. He
hmm
it turns out he like yeah Superman like even this new Superman cartoon he essentially turns Super Saiyan in this.
Oh, so he has like a super Kryptonian type of deal.
It's like, yeah, and he has powers that we haven't seen since the 90s. So like he has energy fields now.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so
It's just like the only people who matter, at least on the Z fighters now, is Piccolo with his orange form. He got a cheap power up. Gohan,
okay.
um, Vegeta, Goku, and then now Broly. Since Broly uh, is I don't know a semi spoiler. Broly just recently, over the last couple of chapters, has learned how to control his power. So now Broly is a problem. He is a,
Mm.
I don't know. Did you see the video like 2 years ago with Giannis Antetokounmpo talking to Serge Ibaka about Victor Wembanyama coming into the league? He said he blocks shots like Rudy Gobert. He shoots like KD. He's a big problem. Big problem.
Is that
That's
Broly?
the level. That's the level of big problem that Broly is.
Ah, because
Big
Victor's a
problem.
phenom. Broly's a phenom. He's like Frieza, like born strong.
Yeah.
Got it.
Big problem.
Okay.
Big problem. And now he has control over his powers because, like Saiyans, Saiyans learn
Hmm.
fairly quickly, especially the talented ones. And all he had to do was watch Gohan in his beast form. All Gohan said was one thing: I take it all the way up to the level that I'm about to snap, and I'm able to control it at that level. He described it. Broly learns
Hmm.
it. Big problems. I'm very interested to see what they do with Broly coming up in the series. Now, Broly is putting tax to ass on a lot of them DC characters. Taxes will be
You think
written.
so?
Oh, yeah, taxes. It would be a great fight. Give me Broly versus the Void. Both of them out of control.
Is that the Century Evil version?
Snaps. Broly.
That I like. It kind of ruins the story for me. Like it's cool that it happens, but it's like, well, like what can Iron Man do to help this? Well, no, Iron Man's
No,
OP.
Iron Man can't. Iron Man's not
Well, Iron Man has a
getting
Venom
done.
suit that he has in reserve.
Again, against them. No, I'd love to see a Broly versus a Void matchup. Both of them snapped. That'd be fun.
I mean, I'm not. I know Roy like well enough to know his storylines, but I don't remember his strength level. But I might be in there.
So
But
so
that's
so
Broly. I
so,
feel like.
Void is basically the Sentry, but just out of control. In
Yeah.
a sense. And
Okay.
that's my premise. Just two snapped characters.
Hmm.
I'm talking white. I'm talking about White Eyes Broly, like OG
But,
Broly from the movie
but see,
Crazy Control. Mm.
what Marvel does when they make strong characters, rather than making like brute strength, they make them like cheat, like not cheat, but you know what I mean. Like they do subatomic particle things like Phoenix and Wanda. Like they just make you disappear. Like Zeno. Is that Zeno? Is that the little guy's name from Dragon Ball?
Oh, Zeno. Yep.
Zeno. Yeah. Wanda's like him. So they just end up
Oh,
using those
overpowered.
characters. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be like tap, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing just goes.
Yeah. That's what Wanda and Phoenix do. So it's like it's kind of useless to argue who's stronger because it's like it's just about what the writer decides to fit in that day.
Oh yeah. But didn't Stanley say it's whoever I decide I wanted to be stronger that day? Whoever I decide wants to
Yeah.
win is going to win
Yeah,
that day. That's pretty
actually,
much what
yeah.
it is. That's pretty much what it is.
But all right, we are past the hour, so let's maybe we could do some wrap up questions.
Right.
Or
Oh, you did want to ask me something about wrestling, so maybe you can make
yeah,
that our wrap up.
yeah, okay, cool. So WWE, it's still WWE, right? I'm tripping.
Yes. So
Okay.
WWE.
First of all, why is it not WWF anymore? Is it because the animal people?
Yes.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
can you
why they
just?
had back in the old era,
Mhm.
in the ruthless aggression era, they had
Well, we
the
don't know what that
t-shirts.
is.
So the ruthless aggression era was right
The
after the
80s?
attitude era. No,
Oh,
ruthless
okay.
aggression is early 2000s. That's
That's like
was it
John Cena.
04? Yeah, John Cena, who's basically the face of ruthless aggression. John, remember in the same year you got John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, and
If
Brock
Randy
Lesnar.
Orton stocked me right now, I wouldn't know who that is.
Randy Orton, he's still wrestling. He's still
The thing is,
damn
I
good.
know he exists, but I don't remember his face.
Wow. The Viper, the Apex
What?
Predator.
You made that up?
No, that's those are his nicknames. The Viper,
What?
the Apex Predator. His finisher is the RKO.
Oh, I know. I remember the Apex Predator thing. So can you
Legend
just
killer.
be? You're a smart guy, maybe too smart. Can you just admit that wrestling's fake?
It's not fake.
What?
No, it's not. Those bumps are not fake.
No, no.
Predetermined, predetermined, absolutely. Scripted, absolutely. But we talked about it. The best wrestlers, the best out there, they don't script every segment of the match. They're freestyling a lot of those matches. As you know, they communicate. They're able to
So
communicate.
it's an
If you,
Avengers movie.
sure,
They improvise those things.
sure, but the bad guys win a lot. So the heels, we'll say they're heels. So that's what they are. But
I
I'm
can hear
telling
what
you,
you're
WWE and the product is better than it's ever been. Wrestling is better than is more popular than it's been probably in 20
popular don't
some
mean
odd
better.
years. Oh no, it's definitely better. The wrestling is phenomenal. You
How do
know,
you determine that? They don't even punch each other. They don't even look like they're hitting each other. Quill.
they do. They all
What?
know. Now the best ones are able to make it appear like they are beating the hell out of each other.
This is new
And
wrestling. So I shouldn't. I
no,
gotta throw out the attitude era because they didn't look like they was punching each other to me in the attitude era.
it depends on who you are. Some wrestlers are a lot more stiff. That means they are like tougher.
Quill,
Like if
they
you
jump
watch
into
it,
their punches in an unrealistic
that's
way.
no, that's that yeah, you got to watch. So put like this: the Shawn Michaels of the world, the Undertakers.
He
You know
still
who?
wrestles.
No, they're both retired.
Oh, okay.
Taker has a great podcast, by the way, very entertaining, and it's
About
very
what?
about like wrestling. He actually has a traveling show he does called One Dead Man Show, and
This is
it's
the whole
actually
world.
really good. It's really, really good. I went like, dude, it's so weird because we're used to him rest in peace. And we're so used to that, but hearing Taker be a normal dude, now he's completely opposite for what you know, he's definitely Texas redneck, super
Yeah,
conservative, don't
yeah,
tread on me, tight. Fine. But he's it's still really cool to listen to. And like wrestling now, especially with social media, like the curtains pulled back on a lot of these characters, so like you get to know them as people more
yeah.
so, and I think that's part of the investment. Um, but no, wrestling right now is really good, really, really good. They have some really great guys. And the women wrestling is phenomenal. Some of those women wrestlers are incredible, incredible. Some of the best in the world. WWE has the best women's wrestlers in the world. I firmly believe.
Compared to what, Quill? I'm not trying to be funny, but like, who they competing against?
New Japan, TNA, AEW, Ring of
Those
Honor.
people make money. Like that's like because I'm not in that world. So like,
So AEW is a direct competitor. The
yeah, I
AEW
did
more
know.
so competes with like NXT, which is like WWE's lesser brand.
Hmm.
But a lot of like some of the older talent left WWE to go to AEW. So
I
like they're a
did know
direct
that.
they're a direct competitor. WWE has a great relationship with TNA with since it's rebranding. Ring of Honor is out there. Like I said, New Japan is out there. WWE
New
has a
Japan
relationship.
is this
New
Japanese?
Japan is, yeah, New Japan is phenomenal. If you're into that, I'm more
So they have
into.
wrestling in Japan.
Japan. That's a huge thing. I'm more
Oh,
into the sports entertainment side. I like the character development. Nobody does it better than WWE. It's character wise.
well, that's the
If you
part that
want,
makes it sound fake.
if you want wrestling, like wrestle, a place like New Japan Like and a lot of the indies, like Ring of Honor, those are going to be like I want to be entertained, like with the physicality in the wrestling. Sure, I want to see the story in the ring, but the character development is really what buys you into what's happening in the ring. How they say the term is how you suspend belief, and you can't suspend belief if a character isn't believable.
How can you know why people can't suspend belief? Because they're hitting the air.
They're not, but they're really not. Some of those
So it looks better these days.
Oh yeah, some of the wrestling's never been better. The wrestling's phenomenal. It's just and some of the listen, a lot of those bumps they take are real. Jumping off a
Well, I
20-foot
believe
ladder
it.
into another ladder does not feel good. There's
I'm not saying
nothing
it
that
feels
feels
good,
good.
but like Robert Downey Jr. takes real bumps when he's playing Iron Man in space.
No, he's not taking Jeff Hardy bumps jumping off the top of a trailer
He
onto
broke
a
his
concrete
ankle.
ground. If all they had was a broken ankle, that'd be a-okay. But yeah,
What? So
these
when
people
Creed
are
gets knocked out by boxers by accident, that's more than a bump.
that's a bump. That happens more than what you would want to in wrestling. That's a
You're
regular
going to compare
occurrence.
a professional boxer's punch to a bump from a wrestler? Not a move, not a tackle, but a bump?
No, you don't know what a bump is. A bump is taking a bump is like getting slammed. That's taking a bump. Or going through a table that's taking a bump. Or it's more than just like, oh, I bump into you. No, like you taking a bump, like you actually take, and that shit hurt. Like the ring is
Mhm.
not supported. Like you think it's support underneath there, like it's soft. No, that's cardboard, not cardboard. That's like not like it's like that's like wood underneath there. That hurts. Those ropes are tied tight. When you go off those ropes, they hurt.
Hmm.
Like the stuff is like it's physical. It's definitely physical.
Physical is not the same thing
Um,
as real.
it can't put like this. If people wouldn't get like legit hurt, legit die, or legit be seriously injured, paralyzed, whatever. If it wasn't, it's real, predetermined. Predetermined. Are the stories real? No, I 100% agree. Is the action real? Yes. Is it
It's like
violence?
realish.
It's scripted violence. It's scripted violence.
Uh,
That's what it is. But yeah, I will die on that hill. It's okay. It's okay. Well, yeah, we I know I'm taking you way longer. I'm long
no,
winded.
no,
I'm taking you.
no. It's okay. I got one more question.
Yeah,
Pikachu or Mickey Mouse?
you already know the answer. I'm picking the electric rat.
Okay.
Pikachu. Final answer. There's no comparison.
No
No, there is a
comparison.
comparison. Let me not disrespect Mickey Mouse. Let me not disrespect Mickey Mouse because I got disrespectful. That was my bias. But in reality, for real, it's Pikachu, and Mickey Mouse is worldwide. Pikachu feels like it's global. I mean, not global. Pikachu feels like it's universal. It's just beyond the scale of the world. Pikachu is just
Oh,
it's never going
okay.
out of style.
Okay.
Little yellow rat.
Okay. Well, thank
Pikachu.
you for coming through. That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. Oh, and Lion King will never be better than the Toy Story.
Oh, I agree. One plagiarized, one didn't.
Correct. So,
All right. Well, that's it for the Avatar Slang podcast. I will be back next Tuesday, hopefully. Don't know who the guest is going to be yet. Maybe we Quill, maybe we Mike, maybe we both.
we'll see.
But yeah, I'll be on Spotify and anything you can catch your what do you call it? Your podcast on. All right, I
All
am
right.
out.